Hello, welcome to Castanet Penticton's Mayor's Minute. I'm Colin Dacre, joined here by the Mayor, Andrew Jakubeit. Oh. So this week at City Council, there was a bit of a plea from the Downtown Penticton Association. They feel that they're, I'll use their words, under siege for just issues downtown, drug users, vagrancy and stuff like that. You as the Mayor and actually as a downtown business owner, I guess you have a unique perspective on this. I mean, how do you think things are downtown right now on that front?
Well, I don't think it's a fair or realistic comparison or a fair or realistic characterization to imply that it's a minefield of needles when you come downtown. But certainly there's been an increased amount of sort of flagrant social deviances, and whether that is vagrancy or causing being disorderly or open consumption of alcohol or other nefarious activities. Certainly there's a perception that during the day is fine, but at night it's people feel unsafe, and we've invested significantly downtown. 100, 200 block, the 300 blocks going to get a bunch of work done starting next week. That revitalization spurred on private investment as well, and there's probably about 300 units mainly have housing coming downtown. So we want downtown to be a place for people to work, live, and play, and they need to feel safe. And the Downtown Penticton Association is saying collectively we need to sort of hit the reboot and refresh on having increased police presence downtown, and really trying to make it sort of uncomfortable for that social deviance to occur, and really have downtown as a focus to have that increased police presence.
Do you think the police presence downtown is going to solve that, or is it just going to push it off of Main Street per se?
Yeah, that's the other thing of having more of a police presence. I think in the past it's that behavior has been allowed to sort of fester and grow on I wouldn't say unchecked, but if we can make it more uncomfortable for them. Certainly, I remember growing up in high school, if you were drinking underage, well, they dumped your beer out, and so you wouldn't do it, or you wouldn't go in places that they always frequented. And the other flip side is that we don't want to have this problem displaced elsewhere, and so it's as a bit more of a social issue as well, undermining this with housing and with addiction. I think the superintendent has put together a community support and enforcement team, which also has a mental health officer. That just started last month. Mental health officers coming on the end of this month or beginning of March, and really to sort of target not just the enforcement side, but be able to help people with their addictions. And I think the addictions is really what's driving the petty crimes and driving the concern. So we have to fix that as well, and it's not as easy as it sounds. And we've been trying to work with Interior Health and some of the other social agencies, and not just police, not just byline. And actually, the DPA was also saying this has got to be a group effort. It just didn't happen overnight. We can't just snap our fingers and expect it to be solved overnight as well. But we want this to be a high priority, and Council's directed staff to work with the RCMP and some of the other agencies to really ensure this is a high priority and people see a noticeable difference.
Yeah, like you said, it's not just the police, it's not just the city or anything, and like you said, Council directed staff to work with the RCMP. What does that mean, practically speaking? Is it just, I guess, conveying the importance of the downtown? I mean, from the city's point of view, I mean, how do they work with the RCMP on something like that?
Well, they're about $9 million a year, right? Yeah. It's a significant part of our budget, and so certainly Council has the capacity to direct them to change our priorities or prioritize certain areas. And right now we've asked staff to flesh out a plan that we can make a resolution towards, to say, if you need to shift resources from here to there. Right now, downtown, we're hearing from the business owners and the community that's a focal point. There's been a lot of investment in the downtown. That should be a focal point. And then also it has to go back to the community themselves. The superintendent talked about a lot of files or members going to people's homes or vehicles for theft of vehicle when their vehicle's unlocked and they left their valuables in the open. And how do we take some of that time that's devoted to that and be able to shift it to more of a police presence downtown? And
that was this week's Castanet Penticton's Mayor's Minute. If you have a question you'd like to submit for the mayor, you can send it to letters@castanet.net. Until next time.
Big on business? Click the Okanagan Edge widget on the main page. The Okanagan Edge, positively business.